now to the first part of our exclusive interview with the family of Kayla Mueller, the 26-year-old American hostage who died while in the hands of ISIS. For 18 months, the family had to keep quiet during her captivity, hoping it would keep Kayla alive. Well, now her parents, Marsha and Carl, and her brother Eric are speaking out for the first time.
I'm still in denial. I still expect Kayla to come through the door.
I hope I never forget that everything happens for a reason.
Kayla Mueller was passionate, fearless, and in the spring of 2013, determined to go to Turkey's border with Syria to help. Were you afraid?
I just saw such joy in her, in helping. And it was something that she was called to do. So a long time ago, I accepted that I can't control my kids. I just got to put her in God's hands and let Him take care of her.
It was her passion, and there wasn't anybody that was going to stop it. Whether it was us, her friends, her close friends, it didn't matter.
But you knew what a dangerous place this was.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Kayla began working for a group called Support to Life, helping refugee families. Did you know that she was planning to go to Syria?
No.
What do you think you would have thought had you known?
Well, of course, as her mother, I wouldn't have let her go. I would have talked with her.
But unbeknownst to them, when Kayla's Syrian boyfriend was called to Aleppo to help a Doctors Without Borders hospital, she insisted on coming along. And days later, her parents got the call they feared most.
It was at 5 a.m. on August 5th, and they said that she had been detained.
Who called?
A Support to Life, and they were sure that it would be okay. That's basically what they said, that she was detained, but not to worry.
Kayla was in the custody of ISIS, the brutal Islamic terror group now notorious for its barbaric killings, but then hardly known. When did you really realize how serious this was?
That day, really.
After that first call, they not only took our daughter, but they took a year and a half, 18 months of our life.
There came a time when I understand you heard from her captors. What can you tell me about what they said?
Well, they gave us her full name. They told us that she was with them, that she was, she was their prisoner. Told us, what we needed to do to get her home.
I really feel that we had a chance to get Kayla out, because we were in communications with them, unlike the other families. But how do you raise $6.2 million? And pretty much made it impossible. But we feel they really did want to release Kayla.
Unable to raise the money and barred by U.S. law from paying a ransom in any event, Kayla's family could only watch as the other Western hostages being held with her were brutally executed one by one. How did you even handle such a thing?
You just deal, That's all we could do was lean on God and pray that she would be freed or she wouldn't be killed.
Do you feel like our government did enough to help you, help her?
I think they wanted to, but I think, again, it's the policy, and I don't think anyone had any idea this group would be as powerful as they were. We've let them get too powerful. They just thought of them as a gang or thugs.
A JV league.
Yeah, but again, it goes back to we are so isolated in America. We are so in our own little area that we don't see what's going on over there.
During this time when Kayla was being held, the U.S. traded 5 Taliban prisoners for Bo Bergdahl.
That made the whole situation worse.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's when the demands got greater, they got larger. They realized that they had something. They realized that, well, if they're going to let 5 people go for one person, why won't they do this or why won't they do that?
And did you personally feel, why is that trade okay, but something similar is not okay for Kayla?
I actually asked the president that question when we were in the White House. Yeah, that was pretty hard, to take.
Earlier this month, the Muellers' worst fears were realized. ISIS claimed Kayla had been killed in a Jordanian airstrike. At that point, did you still hope against hope that somehow it wasn't true?
Yes,
Of course.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's all that group does is lie. They lie, and it's a propaganda thing. They're trying to push their agenda. So we definitely had big doubts.
Ultimately, you were given some kind of proof so that you knew.
Well, publicly, we asked for them, you know, they should have told us. Rather than tell the world, they should have told us. So we asked that they knew how to message us, and they did.
You're always learning about yourself through other people, and you're always learning.
She was loving, she was joyful, she was peaceful.
Kayla taught us so much. And I think that's what I'll remember about Kayla other than my little girl.
Now, the Muellers are devoted to continuing Kayla's work.
We want the world to help us let Kayla still use her hands to give to the world and to help the people that are suffering, and especially the Syrian people right now, because they have been through so much. And that's where Kayla's heart is right now.
They are an extraordinary family who has dealt with something unimaginable with extraordinary grace.
And it helps you understand why she was such a special young woman as well when you look at her family and hear them.
Incredible. And we have so much more to talk about that. In fact, next hour, we're going to tell you how Kayla is now honoring her, what they believe about how she was treated in ISIS custody. And the Muellers share with us something very special and dear, the last letter Kayla wrote from captivity. Also, a lot of people have asked, was it naive of her to travel to that region? We'll have the family's response to that. And then I want to mention tonight on Nightly News more of our interview, including their response to some disturbing reports that Kayla may have been forced to marry an ISIS fighter in captivity. And we'll talk about that unsuccessful rescue attempt by U.S. Special Forces. There is so much to talk about, and I hope people tune in because they have a lot to say.